Alright, hello everyone, it's me BaRKy, and today I'm going to be doing a showcase on one of the most in-depth mods that I've seen available for Rimworld. This is for Alpha 16, and probably one of the most awesome mods I've ever seen. This is the vegetable garden mod, and as you can see, I have nothing set up because I'm going to go through everything. So I've got this nice big field. This mod adds it all in. It's really great for those people who enjoy the growing part of Rimworld, and I know that there are lots of people, I'm one of them, who grow a shit ton of stuff in the beginning to use it later, etc. Take a look at the initial part of the mod, which is what most people do first. So what this mod does is it adds in a pretty much a whole range of options in terms of culinary stuff, in terms of growing stuff, in terms of other stuff, like you can make hyperweave with this mod, which is kind of cool, and it's actually surprisingly balanced. So if I go ahead and let's just put down a growing zone, let's say 10 by 10 little plot over here. Immediately you can go in and you can see all the different things. So straight away you can make tea, you can make coffee, aloe plant, which is just like a weaker heal root, which is pretty nice, flax, flower, bamboo, etc., tobacco, all sorts of stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a whole lot of these so I can leave them to grow. And I'll put down some dirt so we can see that, and then I'll come back once I've done all of that. Alright, so what I've gone ahead and done now is I've put in some more colonists to help us grow and stuff like that. And I have also put down these growing zones over here. So as you can see, I've got quite a few, 20 of them in total. So I've set up all the initial plants, but later on you do get a ton. So if you go into the research tab, it's right to the end here, you can see all the vegetable garden research options. And this is not added in with the organized research mod. The mod is just actually organized, which is really nice to see. So you've got agriculture 1, agriculture 2, agriculture 3. This is the most important aspect of vegetable garden. So what these do is that they allow you to grow a whole lot of new things. So as you can see, it says unlock sowing of eggplants, beans, pumpkins, etc., etc. You can read all that. Agriculture 2 lets you grow fruit. Fruit has the highest nutritional value of the non-cooked stuff, I believe. And then this last one is fruit trees, which is pretty cool. Especially the peach trees. They're very beautiful. As you can see, they're growing all this stuff. So the mod does add in a whole lot of other things. So right now we've got access to the food prep table, the fueled food prep table, and the fueled stove, and the oven. And there's also a milling stone and a tailor's loom, but we'll get to that later. This is the growing part of the mod, or like the cooking the food part. These allow you to do some other cool stuff, like the milling stone allows you to grind plants. Fertilizer machine lets you grow fertilizer, but we'll get into that later. That's part of the soil reclamation. This is a very big mod. I'm actually struggling to talk about all the stuff because I'm just thinking about what to show. So I just want to focus on the cooking right now. So right now we can put in an oven. As you can see, when I allow God mode, you can actually see all the other stuff that it allows, like a canning machine and the electric stove. The electric stove only comes later because it's part of advanced cooking, but it lets you do other stuff that a normal electric stove doesn't. For all intents and purposes, the food prep table is the cooking stove for now. So we're going to put this one down. We're going to put an oven down so I can show you all the options. Put a milling stone there, or milling stone, yeah, milling stone. We can put down, we'll come back to that later. As you can see, this is just a normal like preparation bench for food. The simple meals here, but in an electric cooking stove is where you get the lavish meals. But the rest of these are pretty cool. As you can see, the simple meals at the top, but the rest of them are all pretty interesting, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to research a few other things. Agriculture. Research these agricultures so you can see. Let me put down electric stove. And suddenly you can see the true options. So over here you can make cheeseburgers, you can make tacos, you can make porridge, you can make bulk kibble, which is really nice. You can cook in bulk, so cook 4 lavish meals, cook 4 fine meals. Cook for stir-fried meals, steaks, grilled vegetables, salads, kebabs. It is crazy. If I go to the oven, it's even cooler. You can bake 3 breads or sweet rolls or 3 pizzas. And the best part is that these are complex recipes. So if I go into the pizza, if I click on this pizza, you can see it takes 8 flour, 4 cheese, 4 tomatoes, 10 meat. I cannot just grow flour, I need to grow wheat, then take it to a milling stone, or I think maybe actually the food prep table, then take it to the oven. After that I need to make sure that I'm growing tomatoes and stuff like that. So let me get the rest of these growing zones up quickly. Yeah. There's actually just so much stuff. I'm gonna miss something. I know it. As you can see, this has been increased by a ton. Look how many more things are here now, which is really, really nice. And this isn't even it, by the way. This isn't even it. When I finish the research, you'll see how much stuff there actually is. Alright, so I've placed the other growing zones now, and as you can see how much that's expanded pretty damn quickly. And there's still more to come after this, which is just kind of insane. Kind of insane. Alright, we had a wanderer joining. Cool stuff. So as you can see, okay, so he's filled the granite oven, which is really, really nice. So I've got this fridge zone set up over here with some dead bodies. Unfortunately, they all died to like bears, I think. Let me butcher creep and do forever. Alright. So that goes for the cooking part. I will get into the more detailed stuff once some of the stuff has been grown. But if I go into the butcher table, you actually get some interesting stuff here. Like, I can make fertilizer. Let me just pause that quickly. This takes piles of dirt and ingredients. And ingredients in this game can be anything. So I could be using corn, maybe, for example. I actually want to just do this. So I have a ton of corn. Corn is still in the base game, by the way. It is the core corn. It's not, the mod doesn't change the corn, apparently. Put in some pizza so you guys can see and so my colonists don't starve. But that's what the pizza looks like there. It actually looks like a real pizza, which is very, very cool. It's very, very cool. So if I go back into the research tab now, you can see that this is the basis for agriculture, which is the growing zones. But it also has a few other places, like advanced cooking. Let me finish this. Flowers and trees. Resource plants. Heated sun lamps. Let me just get all of this. Soil reclamation. We can get into the soil reclamation now, but just want to put down these resource plants. What resource plants are? Oh my goodness. So you can see how much this has expanded now. Quite a bit. So if I wanted to grow steel, I can put down steel shroom tree. I don't know if you guys can see this at the bottom, but that's what it looks like. It looks like a mushroom. And if I wanted to grow plasteel, you can actually do that with this mod. Plasteel, put down gold. It takes a very, very long time though. I believe that the growing time is 16 days for steel. And nobody can do that yet, unfortunately. I want to show you what the gold looks like because it is beautiful. Silver is pretty. Gold is beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful plant. Get uranium. There we go. So that is it. This is the maximum amount. Oh, I wouldn't say maximum. Sorry. This is the amount of growing stuff, which is pretty cool. It's like pretty much the tip of the iceberg over here. But the rest of them, this is pretty much the maximum, I'd say. The rest of them, you can still grow trees and all of that. Like, you can grow Japanese Sakura trees, stuff like that. I'll put down a few so you can see over here. At least I think they're called Sakura trees. They have, like, the pink leaves. Cherry blossom tree. There we go. Very, very pretty tree. It's a beautiful, beautiful aesthetic. Which is really, really nice. So now, if we go to soil reclamation, that's another aspect of the mod. And as I said, this is a gigantic mod. Over here, we have garden tools. And this is a new architect tab, but it adds in the thing over here, which is garden soil, play soil, reclaim soil, plow soil. Which is very, very cool. If I wanted to go plow soil and just put this down over here. You can see that the growing rate has, the fertility actually, the growing rate is 0% right now, but the fertility has increased to 160%, which is a massive, massive improvement. Yeah, I think that's actually the highest unless you want to get, hydroponics. So how you get around to making this kind of soil is that you use something called fertilizer, and you probably know what fertilizer is in real life. It just increases the speed of something growing. But there are a few ways of getting fertilizer. I showed you the one with the butcher table. You can make it yourself using work, or you can get something called a fertilizer, I think it's fertilizer machine. Fertilizer machine, which you can put down over here, I'll just put in the fridge. And you attach a hopper to it. Let me just put down some potatoes or something. And as you can see, it'll start generating potatoes. It'll start generating fertilizer by itself, which is very, very cool. It's consuming the potatoes to do so. At a pretty decent speed, actually. It doesn't get rid of itself anytime soon. It doesn't deteriorate due to temperature. That's pretty cool. And then you can make cool fields like this, which look really, really nice. As you can see, we've got these little nice apple trees and stuff like that. This is a very pretty mod. This is a very, very beautiful mod. If that's your kind of thing, then that's great. Very, very pretty mod. But that is how the reclamation, like soil reclamation, works in the game, and that you can just grow stuff. There's just so much to grow. It's really, really nice that you can get something that increases the speed. But beyond that, you do get hydroponics. So it adds in normal hydroponics, and what it adds in is the advanced hydroponics. And you can research this, so let's just finish both of these. And that allows you to build these things over here called Modular Hydroponics Basin, Advanced Hydroponics Basin, Advanced Modular Hydroponics Basin, and stuff like that. And that is, I think it's growing speed at about 300%. There we go, you can see growth rate set at 300%, which is pretty freaking massive, actually. Like, growth rate of 300% is a huge amount. Especially for growing something that takes a very long time, like Devil Strand, etc, etc. Obviously, different plants will have different growth speeds. I was just using Devil Strand because that's the one I like to... It's the one I like to compare others to. It's pretty nice. Our little field is almost done. And I say little sarcastically. Alright, so this is going to take quite a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn in some sugarcane. And some corn. Normal corn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what would generally happen to make a slightly more complex meal. So first of all, over here, I would go and say grind sugarcane. Because you don't get, you cannot grow sugar. As you can see, he's grinding the sugarcane over here now. Nice one, salt. And then you get sugar out of it, which is really, really nice. So you do lose a bit, but that is to be expected. That's quite a normal thing. Obviously, you're always losing material. So you're using 5 sugarcane to get 3 sugar, which is fine with me. And then after you've done that, we can start to grind grains into flour. They do until you have... I usually just go all out without even thinking about it. Okay, so as you can see, now we're getting some flour, which is really, really nice. So, you can see over here. Also, flour is generic, by the way. So if you use wheat or corn, whatever, it actually goes into the same thing. Now we have sugar and flour, which is really, really nice. So we can start making sweet rolls, I think. Yeah, 12 flour, 5 sugar. Let's make 4 of them. Now, as you can see, he's baking it. This is one example of quite a complex recipe. We can even make pizza. I think pizza is one of the more complex ones that I've seen. And what these do is that they give you a mood buff, or consciousness and moving will go up. So if I said to this guy, go eat it, you can actually see, oh man, he's enhanced. So give it to this guy. There we go. So you have a whole body effect, similar to how a drug works, actually. And that it increases his movement and increases his consciousness. Increases movement by 25%. That is actually massive. Wow. Alright, that's higher than I thought it was. But that's just one example of the complex cooking system. It gets a lot more complex to the point where once you have all this, you can start to make really, really cool things. You also get a sweets table, which looks very similar to the food prep table. Sweets table. You can put down over here. And this allows you to make a whole lot of other stuff. Can we make this with just sugar? Yes, we can. There we go. We have hard candy over here. Not like the movie kind that was really, really crazy. But you have hard candy that she made with the sugar. So it's sugar's very versatile, and so is flour. That's why I generally focus on those things in the beginning. Alright, is the field done? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So those are probably the biggest parts of the mod. The fact that you can change the soil, so you can effectively have a growing zone in a mountain if you really wanted to, which is really, really nice. As well as having these increased amount of things to grow. Yeah, you can see how slowly these plasteel things are growing. Only 5% done so far. Should be able to fix this now, which is really, really nice. But it does take ages. You kind of get used to it after a while, though. So the other aspect, there are a few other aspects, but the other one are the canning technologies that you get, and the fact that you can change sun lamp sizes. So if I wanted to go into production, I could put down a canning machine over here, kind of in the freezer. I'm gonna do that just for simplicity's sake. Where is it? There we go. As you can see, you can can meal, and that just puts in that just makes them last a very, very long time. Oh, and you fuel it with steel, by the way. It's not fueled with normal wood or anything, even though it had a wood symbol there. That's just how the fuel sign works in Rimworld. The other biggest part of the mod, by far, is the looming, like I don't actually know what the word is, but the tailoring. You can salvage apparel, which is the biggest thing, but you can make blended leather, you can make hemp cloth, and you can make hyperweave cloth with this. So what hyperweave takes is 7 cotton fiber, raw flax, raw devil strand. So how that works is, in this game, when you harvest devil strand, you don't get the material straight away. You actually get something called raw devil strand. Got some raw flax here. There we go. So we have flax and we have devil strand there. You also need cloth, which is growing over here. Cotton is growing the cloth. This is the flax. As you can see, flax becomes raw flax. You actually need to process them to make it into the actual cloth, which is really cool, to be honest. I actually love that side of this mod. But for example, if I wanted to make devil strand, I would have to take devil strand and actually make it. I don't actually know how much you get out. Oh, you get 12 for every 20 you put in. So it's a ratio, and the more expensive the stuff is, the less you get. Hyperweave you get the least, but obviously it's hyperweave. It's the strongest material in the game. Let me put down some cotton. Make some hyperweave. As you can see, this is a very complex, another example of a complex recipe in the game. They're using 3 of them. As you can see, we have hyperweave here, which is just, hyperweave is incredibly strong. If you're new to Rimworld, then hyperweave is probably the strongest material in terms of armor that you can get. So it's it's a big deal that you can make it now. And it is very expensive to make. Flax takes forever to grow. Cotton is pretty short. Like, as you can see, it's already at 33%, while flax is only at 8.6. Like, flax grows slower than this stuff does, considering that I put this down afterwards. But they don't start at 0%. Alright, so the field has been grown fully, or at least I kind of cheated and just hurried it up a bit. So I can finally show you some of the more cooler stuff. So there are 2 more aspects to the mod, the final 2, and a few other small things that I probably haven't included, but I feel like it's more up to you to come and check this out. But yeah, so we've got the drug lab over here, we've got a brewery, and then finally we've got an electric smelter. Now, a brewery in the game is actually a different tab. If you go over here, you can see brewing. It's actually pretty freaking cool. So you get this unpacking spot, which is where you can unpack cases of stuff, and as you can see, it's empty. And in Advil, you can make all sorts of empty stuff, but the crates are the big deal. But you can make chocolate milk and fruit drinks and stuff like that. But another thing is that you get all these options of making barrels of stuff. It'd be pretty cool if there was a barrel of BaRKy's brandy or something. But yeah, you can add in a whole lot of stuff, and you'll probably recognize a few of these names, like Ramsey's. I don't actually. Oh, Quill 18. Okay, so you can put down these, and they ferment slowly. And you can kind of check the progress over here, which is really cool. I love this so much. But the brewery it's quite a big deal, and you can make this using materials that you get from the garden. So if I wanted to go ahead and make some Quill 18's whiskey, it takes 25 corn. Well, I think Ramsey's takes grapes. So it's pretty cool. If you go to the drug lab, it's another section of the mod which is really, really awesome, and it goes into depth. You can make nutro-amine with nutro flowers that you can grow over here once you've researched the required stuff. All the research is over here, by the way. So it's drug production to get the nutro flowers and brewing to get the brewery. You can make nutro-amine, you can make bulk nutro-amine, which is very, very awesome, as well as the other things like ibuprofen, which is really, really nice. Bandage kit is cool. You can make Glitterworld medicine, which is very, very awesome. A few of these things you can make in vanilla, but the bulk nutro-amine is the most important thing. That's a huge deal. And then finally, with the electric smelter, you can actually smelt the metal you get from the shrubs. So this is bulb chunks, so you can make plasteel out of this. There we go. Ratio of about 1 to 4. So 4 bulbs gets you 1 plasteel, which I think is fair, to be honest. I mean, when you're growing plasteel, you take what you can get. You know, here's silver. All the ratios will be different, by the way. I'm not going to go through all of them because there are tons and tons and tons. But it's very, very cool. This is assigned to cooking, apparently, which is nice. And then drugs, obviously, crafting. That's pretty much it. That is the vegetable garden mod. As you can see, this is a very pretty garden, very, very colorful and stuff like that, because it's a beautiful mod. And here are the Sakura trees that I was telling you guys about. It's very, very nice cherry blossom tree. I also made this room out of bamboo, so you can take a look at bamboo, which is cool. It's very, very cool. Anyways, hope you guys have an amazing day. This is the vegetable garden mod. I know that I've missed a few things. Don't take my head off too much. Tell me the things I missed so I can take a look. I tried to include all the important things, but this is such a huge mod. There's so many small things in this mod that I don't think it's important to go through every recipe, even though I would want to eventually. We can see Cool 18's whiskey's done. Go have a drink, dude. Oh, you equipped it by accident. Whoops. Nice. Manipulation down 2%. Dude, drinking on the job. Nice. Nice, soul. Anyways. Oh, wait. I think I better take away the alcohol before Itamu gets it. Anyways, for real now. I'll check you all later. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day. Hey you! Thank you very much for making it to the end of my video. You've actually proved yourself to be above the average. Above the average. Because the average watch time of my video is 63%. But that's okay, because 63% is exactly how much you need to get a message across. And funnily enough, you only need to watch about 60% of this message to get what I'm making it for. Anyways, I've decided to open up a Patreon if you'd like to support me, besides in the amazing ways that all of my awesome subs already usually do. Then you can head over to the link in the description to check it out. All your support is appreciated, monetarily or not. If you're a subscriber, then be sure to hit the little bell over here to always be up to date with videos I push out, and head over to the Discord if you ever want to have a deep and meaningful chat with me. And last but not least, I hope you're having an amazing day.